So, Mavuika is having her first rerun in 2 days, and the big question is, should you really pull her this time? Let me share my thoughts with you before you decide. As we know, regardless how you wanna play her, she needs Natlan teammates just to get her burst back up. So the very first thing you have to do is to check how many Natlan characters you have. The more you have got, the more versatile and useful she is, and the more she's worth pulling. Personally, I got everyone except Manani, so she has been really strong and useful for me. Well, anyway, enough about me. Since Mavuika is both a DPS and sub-DPS support, let's break it down into 2 parts so we can discuss it further. As a DPS, Mavuika currently has 3 main playstyles: Overload, Vaporize, and Melt, which is basically the same as before. However, the biggest change is the addition of Iansan, who is pretty much just as strong as Seasoning for Mavuika, so she doesn't have to rely on Seasoning as much anymore. And since Iansan is gonna be featured alongside Mavuika, I'll say she's looking like a really good choice for free-to-play players. Thanks to her addition, Mavuika opens up way more team options that works for all kinds of players, from the most budget-full 4-star squad to the premium melt team that's top of the meta. Best of all, even the most affordable team setup is more viable than a lot of current DPS characters. So yeah, if you're looking for a solid DPS, Mavuika is definitely worth pulling even for today. However, on the other hand, if you're thinking of pulling her for her supportability, specifically for non-Natlan DPS, well, I would say it's not a good idea, because based on my experience so far, she really only pairs well with Natlan DPS. For one, unlike Seasoning, Iansan's support isn't compatible with most DPS in the game, meaning that Mavuika usually has to provide support on her own, which has trouble recharging herself unless you are going with Natlan DPS. Besides, even if you do have Seasoning, although you can certainly pair Mavuika with characters like Nivelet, Colan, Ryo, or Ganyu, let's be honest, with how power creep has been going on, most of them aren't really keeping up with the meta anymore, so it's best not to pull a support for them. On the other hand, you could argue she might have some value with the future characters, but let's not forget they won't have Night Soul anymore, so if they don't work well with Seasoning or Iansan, Mavuika is basically stuck, since she can't even recharge her burst on her own, and I'm almost certain this will be the case, as future teams are bound to get their own tailor-made support units, just like Seasoning was for Mavuika. So in the end, if you're looking for a strong DPS, or already have a bunch of Natlan DPS that benefit from her support, Mavuika is a great pull for you, especially now with the 4-star Iansan supporting her. She's strong, flexible, free-to-play friendly, and offers viable team options across all budget levels. But if you're hoping to use her mainly as a support for non-Natlan teams, her value drops off fast, as she almost always have to support on her own, unless you have Seasoning. But even if you do, future characters probably won't bring this combo, as I'm certain there will be new supports dedicated for the new teams, so don't pull her for the future proof. And that's about everything I have to say for Mavuika's run. Thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.